I wasn't laughing at you.
I'm not saying
laughing
you
at the
are. I'm
speed
just
of light
explaining.
in general.
I'm just explaining
I'm
that
laughing at the speed of light in general. Like, you can't really measure it. How they measure it is they put these gears together and they spun them around to where there's like it goes 720 rotations a second. And that's not even close to even get to the speed of light. So it's just not even fathomable how they acquired the speed of light when it could be reduced. It's like an improper fraction in my book.
But we use the permeability and permittivity of a vacuum, right? So like it's the dielectric permittivity, the magnetic permeability. And when we apply that to what people call the speed of light, it's pretty consistent. It's a very useful thing. To such an extent, we can use laser rangefinders, using this rate of induction, and we can accurately measure distances. The difference is that it does slightly change, and it changes with direction. The assumption is that light's physically traveling. That's the first assumption, and that's incorrect. Light.
Oh my God. The double speak, there's no shame to it, is there?
No. He'll just continue on.
There's not even a breath been taken in between the contradiction.
Yep. Nope. That's why I call him a double speaking piece of shit. But that's okay. That was pretty funny, you dumb fuck.
Doesn't physically travel from point to point, right? It just is already there.
Wow. Trippy, man.
We just discussed how it travels. Now it's not. It's already there.
No, Neil, it was always there.
Yeah, always, not already.
It illuminates at a certain rate.
Always there.
It illuminates at a certain rate. Yeah, the rate of induction or the rate of perception. Yeah.
So I agree with you that the speed of light is pseudoscience.
You're saying it changes due to direction or atmosphere or elevation, but do you know that, or are you just assuming it, or hypothetically using your intellectual mind and saying like, yeah, it most likely does change?
No. We have done it. We've done the test. It's not about the atmosphere. It's just about, we use interferometry, which is the most precise measurement method that we know about in all of existence. And when the
really? Can the interferometers weigh stuff? What's my interferometry weight?
In all of existence? Really?
It depends on what
you compare that.
I thought my tape measure worked fine to measure a flaw. Maybe it's different.
I feel like I'm losing brain cells listening to this tripe.
You need an interferometer, Neil. You're fucking up.
Yeah, the only thing worse is old Kenny Wheeler. Ugh.
But that's where he got this from.
Exactly.
He's doing a wheelie, a never-ending vicious circle of scattergunning nonsense.
And Ken Wheeler has this stupid delight smirk on his face the whole time he's doing it.
Yeah, and if you go get anything by Oliver Heaviside, you'll hear freaking with it right in all of his writings.
But he's a mathematician. What's it got to do with physics? Always
light propagates faster in a preferred direction. It's the
no, light's propagating faster in a preferred direction, but it was already there.
It's based on the sidereal rotation, with the direction that the sky moves. And when you take this interferometer and you go higher in the sky, like a mountain, the light propagates even faster and faster and faster. And the rate at which it propagates changes based on the time of day and the time of year. And it directly correlates to the equinoxes, meaning where the sun is inside of this drift that we're measuring is affecting the light, which is insane. It proves that we're not measuring anything to do with the earth moving, and that we're actually, the light is being illuminated quicker in the...
The light is being illuminated quicker. Wow. I didn't know that light could illuminate itself. Without
vortex
matter?
Relative to the sidereal rotation around the earth, like the vortex in the sky or the ether. So yeah, it's been measured. It's not an assumption.
The ether is now a vortex.
Oh, I was just going to say it. It's the vortex now.
I thought it was light before. Now it's the vortex. It's a light vortex. Got it.
It's just interferometry measurements that show that the interference pattern changes.
The speed of light, or are you talking about something else?
The propagation rate of light is how I say it. It would be more so the perceived illumination. You can use the phrase speed of light for intents and purposes, but speed denotes a distance traveled, and that's not real. That's just a misnomer. Like light's already there.
Double speaking monkey.
So could you do it in your own garage at home? Like, could you measure the propagation of?
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah. How can you do that? It's already there.
you're gonna have to have a good. You're gonna have to have a precise interferometer. But just so you know, we are planning on replicating this with like university quality interferometry, and like extreme funding and
Interferometry. That didn't make any sense. The interferometry is a concept. But what are you gonna get? University concepts somewhere? Or did you mean interferometers? You fucking imbecile.
documentation. So, yeah, stay tuned. I mean, it's been done by Dayton Miller hundreds of thousands of times. Been replicated in 2004 with linear interferometer by Wang. It's been replicated in 2020. It's been replicated in the 21st
The
century.
Miklas and Mori? Is that what you're saying? Hundreds of thousands of the time?
Dayton Miller redid his test hundreds of thousands of times, but accounting for all variables of heat and temperature fluctuations,
How do you know all variables?
vibrations, different
Did he
altitudes.
vary the ether in those tests, QE? At what point did he vary the ether?
Yeah, that's a good question.
To do it like
Multiple at a time.
100 times
Yeah.
a second?
Just
or something?
yeah, and he could also do it multiple times at a time, right? But he was just doing it nonstop, right? And he was getting the measurements so frequently that they build up to hundreds of thousands of times.
In what year did he do this? And what was his measurement of time? Like, what was his stopwatch that he used?
He did the measurements. It's hard to tell because his documents are so hard to find now, which is super.
What year?
my God.
What year?
I thought he had them all.
What a... It doesn't
Wait a
matter how many there are. Come on, dude. What did they say? Oh, I don't know. I can't find them now.
The whole point is to never get to the point. That's the whole point of the scattergunning.
I want to just, if I can just pull it back, because somebody linked this to Ken Wheeler at Theo Apophasis, yeah? And the word apophasis, I think it's very applicable both to Ken Wheeler and Witzit's debating style. The roots of apophasis is a sly debater's trick, a way of sneaking an issue into the discussion while maintaining plausible deniability. The words they pick reveal them.
That's fucking scummy. I didn't know that.
For you. So it's hard to tell exactly what years he did because his documents are so hard to get to. But it's like 19, I think we came up with about 1915 to like roughly 1930. I mean, maybe longer than that, right? I mean, but we know for sure.
To like the hundreds of thousands of a second.
Yeah, because we're using Lite, bro. We're using Lite. That's how we're making such precise measurements.
We're using Lite, bro.
We're using Lite, and we're using the same beam of light, and then we're splitting
but
it.
What was the stopwatch that they used? I just don't understand.
They don't have to use a stopwatch. They don't have to use a stopwatch, bro. They know the distance of the arms. They're taking the propagation rate of light, and they're measuring the interference pattern, the phase shift, the separate.
Well, then you're measuring speeds, right? The difference in speeds. That's what's giving you the phase shift.
No, because it was already there.
Duration of the light. That's all they're doing. They're measuring the phase shift. They're not taking a stopwatch out there.
Switch? Wouldn't like the stop and start switch need to travel faster than light to actually acquire the speed that they're trying to test?
No. There's no stop and start stopwatch. It's just that we're splitting the beam of light, and then it's separate directions, perpendicular, then it bounces back and recombines in the middle, and then it goes to the receiver, right? They interfere with each other, meaning one beam of light is behind the other. They should be directly neck and neck, but instead one is consistently behind the other, and this always happens with a specific direction.
So how are they doing that if they don't travel?
Exactly. Isn't it supposed to already be there? How can one already be there later than the other one already being there?
Yeah, it's behind the other one.
Yeah, but they were already there. Just the other one was
the
already there later or something. What?
That the sky moves, and it always happens as you get higher. That beam going in that direction gets faster and faster and faster the closer you get to the sky.
It gets faster and faster, but it doesn't have.
Remember, no, Right, we're mixing up Michelson-Morley and Bob's faulty gyro.
Yes.
We're now combining the two sets of results. Well, Bob's faulty gyro got faster and faster when he went up and hill. Yeah.
That's the whole thing, to validate Bob. I said this a long time ago.
This isn't validating Bob. This is stealing. This is trying to pretend that this is a part of the Michelson-Morley conclusion. Right. It's not. It's a part of the I've got a knackered Honeywell bolt on the back of my pickup truck experiment.
What was the truck rotating? Was the truck on in a vat of mercury?
I think they just used.
So it can't be right.
It was rotating, but he kept correcting for the Coriolis deviation with his steering.
And before, when you asked if he measured the ether, he measured the vortex. So that's good enough.
And it can't be instrumental error. Like there's some real effect happening that the light gets to the receiver faster.
So it's going there faster, but it's not traveling. That's amazing.
It's going there faster, being already there.
Armin, it's not pseudoscience. No one's claiming it's science. It's measurement. Measurement isn't science.
Where'd you get that from? Stop stealing my stuff.
It's so much faster than the blink of an eye that you can't really measure it.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask.
You can measure it with interference pattern. I'm not sure if we're just talking past each other or what's going on. What's the other question?
Austin, how does the propagation of light relate to the concept of cold? And first off, what comes first, the concept of cold or the propagation of light in the ether? But yeah, how does the propagation?
What's the concept of cold and ether? What the fuck?
Yeah, cold
of light relate?
What about the concept of black?
To the concept of cold.
I don't know. That's a good question, man. Because I mean,
how is that a good question, Witsit? You dumbass.
That's a good question.
I think they mean you can't have no pressure, you can't have no heat, something like that, probably.
Oh, brother.
Heat and cold are both concepts, as is temperature, really. And then we arbitrarily determine like 100.
When did cold become a concept?
I'll be right back. Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. Give me about 2 minutes.
I want to make something colder. Do I add cold?
No, that's just theoretical, Adam.
Cold, dude.
It's just conceptual.
No, it's nonsense. It's just
a very
English.
strange way of putting the idea, yeah.
Well, to make something colder is to describe it as having less of something, not more of something. You can't add cold to make it colder. It just has less heat.
Yeah. Well,
it's a way of describing less of the same thing. It's not a different concept. It's just a different word to mean the opposite. The loss of, or to have less heat. But you can't have some cold. That's hilarious.
Cold is in the experience. That's it.
I'm going to add some ice to my cold.
Right, yeah. Okay, well, that's a good thing, isn't it? So you add ice. Did you add cold? No. The heat transfers, doesn't it, from the drink to, you didn't add cold. You've put something to take away heat. But for entropy to play quicker with, I just that's to claim now we've got the concept of cold. I'd like to know what that is.
He's a freaking dumbass.
That's a good question, isn't it? What politicians say for thinking time. Well, that's a good question.
All right, I'm back. Is you guys still on? Cold is just a concept still?
He's a dumbass.
And temperature's a concept too.
No, cold
Celsius,
causes a numbass, not a dumbass.
To be like the boiling
What, Adam?
No, I can't be asked. Well,
point of water, for example. as our measurement. Long story short, I would say heat is due to vibration. It's directly proportional to vibration. And then cold would be the slowing down of said vibration because everything is vibrating and resonating. Nothing's stationary or at rest. It would be tied to light in that sense, meaning that
nothing is stationary or at rest. What about the Earth? The making vague, ambiguous, nonsensical hand wave comments or you fucking train wreck yourself.
Is he talking on the molecular level now?
Oh, is that what he's talking?
Yeah.
It's all about the vibration.
Molecular vibration. Yeah.
Well, he didn't identify.
No. Because like you say, let's keep plausible deniability through ambiguity. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
thing is the same thing that light is, which is ether modality, right? So matter would be.
Whoa.
What ether modality? What do you mean?
I got to pull a J on that one. Sorry. Let's hear that one again.
Stationary or at rest. It would be tied to light in that sense, meaning that I think everything is the same thing that light is, which is ether modality.
Everything is the same thing as light, which is an ether modality. Everything. So your toenails, ink, books, dirt, whisker biscuits. It's ether modality.
Right. So matter would be condensed light, or you could say cold because it's not vibrant.
Matter is condensed light, which is cold light. Is that right? I get that. You need to be institutionalized, dude.
Yeah, man.
As much as slowing down. So in that sense, right.
John, it's not even a joke anymore saying that. I mean, this is genuinely scary.
I told you, man. I think it gets worse.
Right, like the slower the vibration, the further away from what we call light, right? The frequency or wavelength.
Demonstrate it then. Show us some freaking light turning into matter, bitch.
You get more heat.
Is that Nathan in the background? That was pretty funny, Arwen.
I got big gig there as well, pal.
You know, I was listening to this last night, and I was more or less, Arwen, I was saying the same fucking shit. He thinks that his explanations are good enough. As long as you can explain something, you're good. That's what in his mind, that's what he thinks. Which is
but he's not even explaining anything. He's just talking shit.
Yeah, exactly, Neil. You got it. But that was a good one. I'm sitting back here all night. Last night I said, okay, show. I must have said show like fucking, I don't know, 85 times. Show. Fucker. Same thing, Arwen. Good job.
Swearing.
I just want to see some light materializing. I will do a Star Trek thing.
Earth Awakening's QE?
I don't know. I think it's, hold on.
Because he's there a lot, I notice.
I think he's in Earth Awakening, but this is on his, he's got somebody sent me his show, Schooling Globers, episode 23. So I think that's where he's at. Follow?
Yeah, they do live stream on Twitch or something because I think they got a strike. So this will be available elsewhere if you want it from somewhere else.
Yeah, and there's Geo. So that's that friggin' Jane Fonda right there. There he is. Little heart. You better stay in there.
More vibration, which means you would get less heat with less vibration. So that would be it's a pretty profound question, actually, because I would say everything's an ether modality, and that's all based on the vibrational disturbance or perturbation of the background. And so there would actually be a relationship between heat and cold in that sense.
I got a question.
What's going on, bro?
So since the ether is like I guess you would describe it as like an overlapping layer, right? Because it's here on the ground and it's up in the sky as well. And like it's even present where there's matter, but then, we can't really detect it. So it's some kind of superfluid or something that's like very hard to detect, but like experiments that we've done.
Can't we detect superfluids?
Yeah. Actual superfluids.
Show that we know that there's an ether.
Unless you're now trying to use a big word, that you think makes you sound intelligent, but actually shows you're not even describing the thing you're saying. A superfluid, this thing that could manifest into a solid, liquid, gas, fluid, light, could be described as super. It's just a diatribe of incoherent nonsense, and none of them have got the balls to even challenge each other, because there isn't anything they're actually saying. They can just waffle to the point.
This is what they want, Adam.
The concept of cold, that you've got cold manifesting along with heat, even though heat was just been described as a vibration. We've now got cold. I don't know what a cold is. The only way you could describe it is less vibration. So it's not a thing, is it? It's just less heat again. It's just, this is the most, is it Dunning-Kruger I'm hearing? I don't know. It's just the most, people nodding along with it is the confusing thing.
My question is, a mirror, do you have some theory for like a unique concept or a unique interaction of mirrors with the ether, since it's like mirror is matter, but like what is the mirror doing that other matter is not doing that's able to actually just reflect a propagation of the ether?
Yeah,
The ether is the back.
He said yeah to that.
Yeah,
What
the ether's the
hell
back.
is wrong with you?
It gets excited, it illuminates. We call that light. Light is invisible. Illumination is what's visible, because light's just the ether.
The fuck, man?
Stop swearing.
What do you mean no swearing?
I told you that dark is light. Yeah, it's just unmanifest.
Because Nathan is always recording, and this is going to be a special members only, I imagine.
It's not my problem.
Are you recording this?
He's
Yes.
always recording.
Yes.
Well, edit it out then. This is my time to swear.
When Nathan is in here, always assume he is recording.
It's just
doing
exaggeration.
it.
No, it's just.
I was considering doing a treatment on this. I didn't think you were. I thought this was the after show. But my bad. We'll continue.
The
Like the ether is not
after show, that's
visibly
just the next day.
Visible.
Wait, I'll pull
I
it,
would
Jay.
say
Second. We were over talking that. There we go.
we call that light. Light is invisible. Illumination is what's visible, because light's just the ether. The ether is not tangibly visible. I would say that you're just based on the medium, the reflectivity of the medium, right? You're able to see the illumination. We seem to think that like
Tangibly visible.
You caught that too, didn't you? Yeah. Tangibly visible, yes.
we shoot light at the mirror and it bounces back. But in reality, it's just showing us the illumination of the disturbance in the ether, meaning that once it's disturbed, it switches over into the physical realm, right? And then that vibration interacts with the material of the mirror, and you're able to see it perturbate or disturb its disturbance in a different angle based on the angle that hits that light, or quote unquote hits the mirror. This is a profound question, to be honest.
Fuck, man, stop improvising with your technobabble horse shit.
This is a profound question.
This is the dumbest improvisation exercise I've ever heard.
Be patient. Be patient.
It's gotta be
It's gotta get worse. Really?
This has got to be one of his most damning videos I've ever heard.
Because then you ask, what's the difference? You ask what? Yeah, light is a perturbation or disturbance of the ether. You ask, what is?
Whoa, no. You said before that light was the ether and ether was the light. Now it can't be the thing that it's perturbating. So
it can perturbate itself? What's the problem?
This is a family show, are we?
Different. What is different with the mirror? And I mean, that's an interesting question. I would actually say that it would be like the crystalline molecular structure of the material itself.
What? You don't believe in molecules? Molecules are made of atom.
Ether. They're made of ether, right? They're light manifest on a lower frequency, which he hasn't demonstrated.
It's different. It's interact.
That crystalline lattice he's just cited is going to have electrons in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fundamental of the lattice. Oof.
That lattice sounds sciencey, boy.
It does.
Action
And if you
based
can
on-
distract away like he's done actually quite well there, then you forget what he's describing, which is the lattice is already the manifest perturbation of the ether. But now you've got the excitation of the ether, meaning there's an illumination of the ether, which was the non-visible light, now rebounding through the crystalline lattice of the already perturbated manifested ether through the illumination as it goes through it. That's why it's profound, because it highlights the shit that is being spouted, the nonsensical drivel, and the weak points where his actual claims fall apart. He's already excited.
What's wrong with some
its
basic
vibrational
circular
resonance
reasoning?
has
Come
a
on.
different relationship with the perturbation of the ether than another material. So it would actually be like the molecular structure of it itself. I mean that's a to ask me why mirrors are different than other matter is a very interesting question. I'm not going to claim to know the definitive answer, but that would be my speculation. But light does not physically travel. We just think it does because we see it light up or illuminate at a certain rate, and so it's somewhat reasonable for like us with our caveman minds and our clipboards to try to count.
Caveman mind.
You're the only one with the caveman mind.
Yeah. So that's a way of saying you just don't understand. You don't have the gnosis that Witzig has.
On it and think it's
Your
traveling,
mind is
but
too small.
it's not.
Sorry.
It's already there. It just gets
Oh, boy,
excited. So it's somewhat reasonable for like us with our caveman minds and our clipboards to try to count it and think it's traveling, but it's not. It's already there. It just gets excited. So hopefully that was satisfactory. That is a
That's
tough
pretty
question.
cool, but it has absolutely nothing to do with ether, though. Absolutely nothing. I still don't know what it is.
Oh,
How do you think that's pretty cool?
Got everything to do with ether, as he just said. Your dumb caveman mind, it thinks like travel. No. Superman brain, he told me like already there. He just not manifest. Me caveman dumb, me think it move.
Damn it.
It
Well,
just
when
gets
you say it like
excited.
that, it does actually make a lot of sense.
But someone else said something?
No, I think because it's kind
You're
of
a
like how do you
dumbass.
get light, right? And light is a sort of concept that translates differently broadly. And it's almost like in a combustion sense, right? Something has to be burning, and like you said, the excitation of the matter, like the glowing particles, the fast-moving particles.
This all gets interesting, right? Because what are molecules? What are particles? Just isolate.
Moving, right?
It's localized
Scattergun
excitation
some more,
of
asshole. Scattergun away more. Don't actually get to the point. More nonsense. Maybe
this all gets interesting, right? Because what are molecules? What are particles? Just isolate.
Moving, right?
It's localized excitation of the ether, though, right? Everything's ether
There you go.
modality.
See, that's what the mirror is.
It's like
Localized excitation manifested past light into solid matter. Same thing, you see. So when his light travels into his mirror, it's the manifestation entering the manifestation.
So he said localized what?
He's having to now, to maintain this manifestation paradigm, he's had to call into question everything. Everything he's going to rely on, such as electrons in a bit, but he's now really kind of intimating that, yeah, only dumb people think in terms of the molecular model. Those that are in the know, those that have the gnosis, understand that you've got to realize that it's just a manifestation of the already existent ether by excitation and illumination.
Right, it's just self-manifesting.
solar luminescence in a sense.
Ether modality.
It's like sonoluminescence in a sense because the particles are moving so fast that it's like they're moving so fast in the ether, and I suppose that causes a sort of vibrational excitation that we perceive.
Yeah, I don't really believe in particles per se, other than the phenomena is real. But
Well,
Hold up.
Other than the phenomenon is real.
That's the best bit, Neil, isn't it? Other than the fact that they're real.
Yeah.
I'm glad he was going to explain some things about it, and now declaring that they don't exist. That's amazing.
Play that. Play. Give us a J on that one.
sort of vibrational excitation that we perceive.
yeah, I don't really believe in particles per se, other than the phenomena is real. But
Well, I'm saying actually like heated particles. Let's say, for example, of wood.
okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, the matter is basically just a lower vibration of the ether, and as it begins to vibrate faster, it begins to quote unquote heat.
There's just a lower vibration ether.
I want to see the experiment for that.
Just a lower vibration, dude.
Because the material interacts and causes friction, which causes electrostatic charge, which then can result in heat based on the vibration in its environment.
That friction causes. Do you catch that, Adam?
Yeah, it causes electrostatic charge. He's just throwing words out. What can you do with this? The best you could do with all of this, right, is write it all down on sheets of paper, yeah? Cut those paper up into little squares and use it for toilet, yeah? Because other than frustrating
But it's not like
Sorry, go ahead.
this is pure snake oil. Flim, flam. Just deception.
It's hard to.
Wizard talk, wizard salesman talk. That's what this is. Scattergunning, technobabble, sounding smart, never getting to a point.
No, it's difficult because you're trying to understand what he's saying, but it's all convoluted gibberish mashed together that's contradictory. You can't, you find yourself, it's hard to encapsulate what's going on here in language, to fully represent it in its complete delusional Dunning-Kruger mirror stage.
Wow.
it's not interacting with, like, I don't even think, like, okay, like gas particles, just a concept, don't exist. Let me read these super chats.
Gas particles just a concept? Wow.
They don't
Agreed.
exist.
Definition of apophasis again. It's a sly debater's trick, a way of sneaking an issue into the discussion while maintaining plausible deniability.
But I don't see alive having this conversation if they don't exist.
It's just a
vibration
concept,
in its
Neil.
environment, but it's not like it's not interacting with, like, I don't even think, like, okay, like gas particles, just a concept, don't exist. Let me read these super chats real fast. I don't want to get behind Michael Fraser. I think I'm saying that right. Correct me in the chat. Just showing support, listening to you, school globers. You have your work cut out.
He's getting super chats for this. People are actually paying him for this.
Yes, they love it, QE. They love this shit. That's why I am so freaking irate.
Unbelievable. I should start doing this shit.
No,
Proud
you
for you.
kill it.
Being that so many
You
are still
freaking
lost,
kill
but I
it.
know our
Make $1
Father
million.
continues to bless you for spreading the truth. Hey, thank you, man. Shout out to my
Yeah,
boy
but you lose your soul and
Apocryphon, and
become a
$15 super chat in the
podcast,
kind
though.
Stop over talking the super chat.
words and support, brother. Much love. Ollie Yair, thank you for the $5 super chat. How indoctrinated must I be that I can look at all the undeniable proof about FE, but somehow still hold on to these ridiculous theories? Very strong. Yeah, I mean, it's a lifetime full of indoctrination. You have to then look into the face of, like, being.
Then we have to look into your face. After our indoctrination, right? Then we have you. And who are you? Well, you're the shape-shifting Mr. Magoo ether clown, double-speaking lion surrat, shits at 20. Now we got you to look at. You imbecile?
No longer accepted by majority when it comes to something everyone takes for granted. So it's a process, bro. But like I said, all people that have made discoveries or innovations have been called wrong and crazy and disagree with everyone, and then just been proven right. So what's popular is rarely true. What's true is rarely popular, bro.
Really? Really now?
He's waxing philosophical on us.
That was deep, man. That was deep.
All right, we can get close to wrapping it up. But anyone that got some final questions before we get out of here?
Thank you.
Question, man.
I've got
Oh
one.
no.
So
Go on.
since
What's ether?
And Adam, the scary thing is that should be the question. That should be the question.
I'm sorry.
After all of that, I would say, what is ether? Because what you just said is a bunch of bull.
under this concept that the ether, or rather everything, is just basically the ether being disturbed or messed with or modulated in some way, right? Matter, light, everything, right?
Demonstrate.
So in that form of thought, if the ether being excited can make both light or matter, but there's something materially different about the fact that matter is, matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that maybe matter, I guess it's a two-part question. Would you say part one, that maybe the matter would be like the ether being able to hold its form, like in that particular excited state or that particular frequency or that particular charge, whatever it is that's
Khan
directing
says he
this,
says yes.
ether to change into matter, whereas other forms of propagation of energy through the ether don't hold that form permanently, such as light or heat or whatever.
Look at him. He's thinking, that's going to be my next paragraph for my new book.
I think he's thinking, how the hell am I going to techno babble my way out of this one?
And he's not. Nathan's right. He's going to agree with it.
I was just going to say, he just has to say yes.
Yeah.
Probably.
A flash in a pan that dissipates, whereas matter is like constant.
Yeah.
Conscious individualized wave.
Yeah. I didn't bet that pound. I'll go back.
Good call, Nathan.
I'll give her a $5.
Flash in a pan that dissipates, whereas matter is like constant.
Yeah.
Conscious individualized wavelength.
Yeah.
This is what I would say, right? So Tesla said that electrostatics or static electricity is the ether under stress or strain.
Uh-oh. Did he say that?
Did he now?
Just a little tidbit I found out about Tesla that started credibility to the man. So in his later life, tried to marry a pigeon.
Thanks, Adam. That helped out a lot. I was wanting you to focus on where he said that electrostatics was static electricity.
He's quoting a man that tried to marry a pigeon. He's done nothing, but has everything attributed to him as some form of genius. And just
wait a second, hold on. He tried to marry a pigeon? I never heard that.
Yeah, in New York.
That's just okay. Let's tone that down, right? Let's get back to reality. Here we go.
I would say, right? So Tesla said that electrostatics or static electricity is the ether.
Electrostatics or static electricity. So he made those equivalent statements.
Give me a J. Come on. All
right, I'll give you a J.
Focused on the pigeon.
I know. You can't get past the pigeon. I understand. Who can?
A pan that dissipates, whereas matter is like constant.
Yeah.
Conscious individualized wavelengths.
This is what I would say, right? So Tesla said that electrostatics or static electricity is the ether under stress or strain, meaning that there's some like radiant source of energy that's above us that's radiating down. It's basically pressing down right through the ether. That gives us static electricity. Once the ether is, he would say, thrown into infinitesimal prodigious worlds of velocity.
Prodigious.
Infinitesimal.
Let's go back. Infinitesimal prodigious. Is that what he said?
Oh, wow. He lost me on that one.
You have to look that one up in the dictionary.
No, you're not going to find prodigious. It's not a word. It's prodigious. But I'll pull a J. Let's go back. Let's hear that one more time.
radiating down. It's basically pressing down right through the ether. That gives us static electricity. Once the ether is, he would say, thrown into infinitesimal prodigious whirls of velocity. That just
infinitesimal prodigious. Did he say worlds of velocity? I didn't catch that.
Prodigious.
I thought he said whirls.
Whirls?
I thought he said whirls.
Like WHIRLS? Whirls?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay.
And he
I'll go back.
definitely said prodigious.
Yes, he did.
once the ether is, he would say, thrown into infinitesimal prodigious whirls of velocity. That just
He must have been prodigious, but infinitesimally impressively great. That's prodigious, yeah?
Prodigious, yes.
So infinitesimally prodigious is infinitesimally impressively great.
Yeah.
Infinitely small, large.
Exactly, Owen.
Brilliant.
Infinitesimally
really small, really
great.
You can't get more literal technobabble than that at this point.
Complete double speak again. That's what I'm saying. Infinitesimally, and the word prodigious, remarkably or impressively great in extent, size, or degree. So,
Little big.
infinitesimally prodigious.
Infinitesimally colossal.
What a lovely day!